Hello there! Welcome to tonight's live stream. Please let me know in the chat if you would, if everything sounds okay. I'd appreciate that. Here we go. Okay, it seems like everything's working, which makes me very happy. It's great to be with you for another live stream. This is live stream 132. It's hard to believe it's been that many. But, you know, it's been spread out over a few years. I've been doing these streams for about 3 years now. So if you've watched one before and you're tuning back in, I really appreciate that. Nice to see some familiar names there. Sue O'Neill in very smoky Melbourne says everything sounds good. I appreciate that. Thanks, Sue. And I hope you guys take care there in the... you know, it's definitely fire season in Australia right now. Yeah, I see some nice comments coming in. Brian's over there in Ireland. And great opening with a great tune, says Jeff, and a D18. Yep, this is my old D18. And I'm trying a new way of sitting these days. I got my right leg on my crossed over like this, which does limit my ability to change the camera with my left big toe, but I'm still managing to make it happen. So, Mark Pritchard in Knoxville, Tennessee. G'day, Mark. So nice to see your name. Mark is the man behind the Chet Atkins convention down there in Nashville each July. An amazing, amazing event. I'll play a little bit of Chet. I'll play a bit of here's a bit of Bye Bye Blackbird. And inspired by Chet. Let's see if I can get something going here. No hands. Check out this guitar. Okay, let me see what else I got here. I got all kinds of toys lined up today. Alright, something like that. This guitar is a little too much reverb. Yeah, I got all kinds of cool sounds lined up for tonight's stream, so I'm going to have some fun. I hope you all are ready for some interesting explorations on my part. I'll talk a little bit about the guitars I just used. This is a ES-175 that I really like, and this nylon string guitar is particularly cool because we were just talking about Chet Atkins. And this is from a family of guitars that Chet kind of put on the map, the Del Vecchio guitars. I shouldn't say that because I'm not super familiar with the history of these guitars, but they're made in Brazil, and Chet was known for playing a Del Vecchio resonator guitar, which was a really cool and unique sound. But this is a nylon string guitar. I bought this on Reverb, and it's made entirely of Brazilian rosewood, including the top, which is unusual. Usually you have a spruce top on most flat top guitars, but this has a cool sound. It's not a super loud guitar, but has a nice thing going on to it. So before I start singing and getting carried away, I'll play another instrumental track. This is a tune that I just think fits really nicely on this guitar. It's a piece that was written by Jose Feliciano, but George Benson recorded it on his Breezin' album in 1976. There's a little trivia for all the university students out there, and it's a great album, Breezin'. And this is not Breezin', this is Affirmation, which is I think track 2. It's one of my son. He's 2 years old in a few months now, and he loves that George Benson album. I might have played it for him a few times. But I hope you enjoy this. This is Affirmation. That's really good fun for me to play. I've been practicing that this week. It's it's fun kind of recording with this guitar, trying to figure out how to get the most tone out of it. This setup is really for the Martin, which has a big sound. As a comparison. Anyway, I see a request there from Kevin. If you could play "What a Wonderful World," that would be great. Well, thanks for the request, Kevin. I can play that. That's a really nice idea. I'm gonna put a capo on here because I do like the way this sounds with a capo. Although on second thoughts, I might need those. Need to leave those higher notes for another guitar. If you heard any mistakes in there, I was just checking if you were paying attention, and if you heard some, then good job. All right, yeah, I'm seeing some really nice comments coming in. Thank you for the kind words. Mary Mercer says, "Tip jar times?" ? Oh, Mary, you read my mind. Thanks for reminding me. I actually had forgotten. I have a tip jar for these live streams for anyone who is new here or wondering how that works. It's just a link. It should be linked below this video, floating around there in the comments somewhere. joerobinson.com/tipjar, TIPJAR, and it's a very secure, easy way to leave a tip if you want to say thanks for the music, Joe. I always want these streams to be free, but if you want to support me and the music, then it's very much appreciated. And the tip jar is a really great way to do that. So thank you very much in advance to anyone who decides to leave a tip, or anyone who's left a tip on previous streams. Really means a lot, and I really appreciate it. So thank you. Okay, let me sing something here. I should do something with vocals. How about I'll do an old song called Streets of London, which I always liked playing. I first heard it on a Tony Rice album called Church Street Blues. That was in my car on repeat for like a year when I was a teenager. Just listen to that. I just loved his playing and phrasing and everything. It was just such a musical, just beautiful approach he had. Maestro Tony Rice. I say he had because he doesn't do too much playing anymore, I don't think. But here we go, Streets of London. Have you seen the old man in the clothes down the market, kicking up the papers with his worn out shoes? In his eyes you see no pride, they're loosely by his side. Yesterday's paper telling yesterday's news. How can you tell me that you're lonesome and say for you the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. Have you seen the old girl who walks the streets of London? Dirt in her hair and her clothes in her rags. She's no time for talking, she just keeps right on walking, carrying her home to carry her bags. How can you tell me that you're lonesome and say for you the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. In the all-night cafe at 11:15, the same old man is sitting there on his own, looking at the world over the rim of his teacup. Each tea lasts an hour as he wanders home alone. So how can you tell me that you're lonesome and say for you the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. you seen the old man outside the seaman's mission? Memories fading with the metal ribbon that he wears. In our winter city, the rain cries a little pity for one more forgotten hero in a world that doesn't care. How can you tell me that you're lonesome? Say for you the sun don't shine. Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. There we go. Let me see the chat to see if anyone's throwing beer bottles at me for playing a fuzz solo in Streets of London. Whoops, smack. Be sure to hit like to spread the word. Grateful JD. Thank you so much. Yes, be sure to hit like if you enjoy the music. The little like button, the thumbs up, is active on Facebook and on YouTube. I'm streaming to both platforms right now. However, Facebook have this policy where they delete the stream after like 2 weeks or something. So I got this really nice email from them and said, "Oh, hi Joe, thanks for doing 115 live streams. In 1 week we're gonna delete them all. So good luck." But YouTube is it's a pretty musician friendly platform for the most part. I would say YouTube, and there was a time when I didn't post for a year or so, and my son was born, and I was doing other stuff, and my YouTube channel kept growing, and my Facebook and Instagram and everything just kind of stagnated and declined. But YouTube has been really, really great to me, especially. So, thank you. If you're enjoying the music, I do have a tip jar. The tip jar link is joerobinson.com/tipjar, TIPJAR. And thanks in advance to anyone who enjoys the music and decides to leave a tip. Thank you. So let me just gather my my thoughts here. And if anyone has some questions, feel free to fire away. I'm keeping up on the chat today. And Byron says, "Love seeing you in Dixon a couple summers ago. Met you briefly. Hope to see you again here in time." Yeah, thank you, Dickinson. Yeah, Dickinson, North Dakota. I played there in the town square a couple years ago. That was a fun evening. Mike Wolf says, "You got zucked." Yep. Yeah, it's Facebook is actually I'm grateful to Facebook, but believe it or not, it's actually a really good advertising tool. It's not very it's very good as an advertisement. So I'm running ads on there at the moment to alert people about my courses, and I'm getting lots of new people, which is I'm very grateful for. So there you go. Any plans to have a tour in Asia? Not right now. I don't have any plans to come to Asia. It's been a few years since I was over there. I used to go over and play in Japan fairly often. I used to play over in China. Occasionally, I went there twice, 2013 and 2019, and it was really amazing. I used to play in Thailand a lot, but would certainly love to venture out in that part of the world more. Question from Marco: do you mic up acoustic guitars for the stream or plug them in directly? I always mic, so I only have mics going on, and sometimes it's just one mic, and honestly, sometimes I think that sounds the best. But right now, I have 3 microphones. I have this mic, which is pointed at the 12th fret of the guitar. I have this mic, which is above my shoulder, and those are panned hard left and right. And then I have this mic up here, which is just kind of for blending in some vocals, and it gets a little bit tedious sometimes with 3 microphones because you get phase problems. But it's a little bit of I'm just trying to find the perfect setup for these streams, and still experimenting. Jan says, "Fireflies tonight. Great to hear while waiting for a big snowstorm." Oh yeah, thanks Jan. I hope the snowstorm's not too bad. I hope it's the pleasant kind of snowstorm where it's just pretty, but you don't get snowed in or anything. David says, "Hey, absolutely love the streams. Any chance for Shadows? Gordon Lightfoot jam." That's a great idea. I should play that Shadows song. Let me play Fireflies, and then perhaps I'll play Shadows, because that very much fits with the Streets of London vibe, because it's Tony Rice inspired. Favorite brand of mic? It's like there are so many different microphones, and I think there's lots of smaller brands that make really great microphones these days, and that's a beautiful thing. So these microphones, these two are made by Miktech, Miktek, and they're made in Nashville, and they sound excellent for a small diaphragm condenser. And someone says, "How many cameras do you have, Joe?" Well, I have 2 cameras going at the moment. I have this kind of close-up shot, and then I have this wide shot. And I actually ordered another camera, and I have 4 inputs on my switcher here. So I'm gonna set up another angle, and then I'll have even more complexity to be late for the streams, getting everything in focus and dialed in. Anyway, here's Fireflies for Jan. Thanks for the request. Thank you for the request, Jan. That's an old tune of mine called Fireflies. Let me try to remember how the Shadows goes. This is a really beautiful Gordon Lightfoot song. And there you go. I have the lyrics in front of me. I'm so organized today. Not always like that, but today is a good day. Let me take a swig here of water in an apple cider vinegar bottle. This confuses some people. They're like, "Joe, you drinking straight apple cider vinegar?" And I'm like, "No, not straight. In fact, there's none in there. It's water." Okay, let me try to remember this song. This is a really great tune called Shadows. Gordon Lightfoot wrote it Tony Rice recorded it, and hope you like it. Won't you reach out, love, and touch me? Let me hold you for a while. I've been all around this world, and still I long to see you smile. There's a shadow on the moon, and the waters here below do not shine the way they should. And I love you just in case you didn't know. Let it go. Let it happen like it happened once before. It's a wicked wind and it chills me to the bone. And if you do not believe me, come and gaze upon the shadows at your door. Won't you lie down by me, baby? Run your fingers through my hands. I've been all around this town, still I do not understand. Is it me or is it you? Or the shadow of a dream? Is it wrong to be in love? Could it be the finest love I've ever seen? Set it free. Let it happen like it happened once before. It's a wicked wind and it chills me to the bone. And if you do not believe me, come and gaze upon the shadows at your door. Please kiss me gently, darling, where the river runs away, in the mountains and the springtime, on a blue and windy day, where there's beauty all around, deep, where the morning stars grow dim, there we'll find us in the shadows fast asleep. Let it go, let it happen like it happened once before. It's a wicked wind and it chills me to the bone. And if you do not believe me, come and gaze upon the shadows at your door. There we have it. That's Shadows. Oh, John Hendrick says, can you play Michael Hedges' Aerial Boundaries? No, I cannot, but you know what? I don't play tapping and open tuning guitar really, but I love Michael Hedges' playing, his composing. He was a visionary, and one of these days I might kind of dive into his playing and try to figure out if I can do it. I do know he played a D28 and he got such a great sound in his recordings. So yeah, I admire him on a lot of levels. Possible to hear Canon in D. You know, I don't play Canon in D, but I've recently felt the calling to arrange some more classical, some classical pieces. So stay tuned for that. Checking my tuning here. I got this little clip-on tuning sensor, which seems to be a pretty good way to go about doing it. Bojangles, Genevieve. Yeah, I should play Genevieve. Ray's Coffee says, how do you keep your ring from not hitting the neck? Mine always clinks, so I feel bad taking it off. Is it my form? Any tips? You know, it's interesting. When I first started wearing a wedding ring, I was like, oh, I wonder if I'm going to hear it. And I actually got a silicone one, which is like a that I use if I'm going to be, doing any construction stuff, and I don't want to like risk degloving my finger. I hate that phrase, degloving. But yeah, the silicone ring could be a more noiseless option if you're going to be playing with a ring. But I haven't had any problems with it. I don't really hit it too much. Occasionally you'll hear it, but not really. Genevieve, Layla. Larry says, do you ever go to the NAMM show? Yeah, I've been to the NAMM show many times. I think the last time was 2019, which was when I had, actually 2020, January 2020 I went, which is when I launched my signature Maton guitar. And I used to go, I was at a gig, I forget where it was, somewhere recently, and there was a guy who's like, hey man, I saw you in the NAMM show in 2010. And he had like a photo of me with my my bandmates, and I was like, wow, that's a flashback. It's like 16 years ago. I'm gonna play a little electric guitar here. The NAMM show is an amazing experience. There's so much gear to see, and 2026 is a year in which I'm not buying any gear, which is it's kind of liberating, because I have all the wonderful stuff I need. I'm very fortunate to have all kinds of cool sounds at my disposal. But I found myself always searching for the next thing and trying to just get everything perfect. But you know what? It's never perfect. And at one point you have to just be like, okay, it's good enough to work. Here's a good comment. Didn't you grow up on a farm milking cows with no TV or nothing, so you learned guitar because there was nothing else to do? I love it when a story kind of like takes on a life of its own. And yeah, I did grow up on a farm, and there was nothing to do, and the TV was very. We did have a TV, but it was like this big, and there was only 2 channels on it, and they were they were pretty fuzzy, so it wasn't really very entertaining TV. But I do remember sitting there on the couch when I was it was before I played the guitar, so it must have been 8 or 9, and I watched an entire Miles Davis documentary. It was like a 2-hour documentary on the ABC in Australia, and I was just captivated by it. So I didn't have TV, and we didn't have any cows that we milked, but we did have cows that we raised, and we'd take them to the market, sell them to the market, sometimes. But anyway, yeah, it was pretty rustic out there. We didn't have hot water, so it was like cold showers. Back before it was like cold plunging. Although it wasn't very cold in Australia. Right now it's like probably 50 degrees Celsius or something there. Okay, yeah, I was just speaking about not getting any guitars. This is a new guitar that came my way. Not this year. It was last year it came. And it's a really beautiful instrument. It's made by the CEO of Taylor Guitars, Andy Powers, and it's called a Powers A-Type. And I'm just going to triple check my tuning here. And I have a song called Flow, which I saw was requested there, I think by Rob. Yeah, I hope you're well, Rob. Nice to see some Invisible Technique members here. That's my teaching site where I have a lot of guitar courses and a cool community and things. just oh, that's what's going on. Tuning the wrong string can happen to anyone. During this stream, I have the comments open, and I also have it's like, for like the last 50 streams, I didn't have any indication of how many people were watching. I just would like see the comments and be like, okay, I guess it's working. But now I can actually see how many people are watching, and if I play a bad song, I guess people will stop watching. So I can kind of keep tabs on that. So it should be in tune now. Yeah, so it's a really nice guitar. It has a very surf, it's like a surf guitar vibe. It's beautifully made. It has a lot of really innovative features. So I'm gonna play flow on it. See if I can get some vibrato going here. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that was Flow, one of my compositions. Let me go back to playing an acoustic guitar here. I feel myself just kind of zoning out during that tune. It's a beautiful thing. I have a tip jar for anyone who is new around here. My tip jar link is joerobinson.com/tipjar, TIPJAR. And if you feel inclined to leave a tip, it's very much appreciated. It's not required for admission. But yeah, there we go. Thank you very much in advance to anyone who chooses to leave a tip. Mike says, Joe, how much time to get that song figured out? You know, I remember I had the little idea of it. This is pretty typical for me, but I had the idea of my voice memos. You know, I just would noodle around and find something that I liked and then store it away. And then I wrote that when I was up in Quebec, which it's been a few years since I was in Quebec. So it was a while ago. And yeah, I remember just playing it over and over again, trying to get all the little cool chords figured out. Holly says, do you have a preference for acoustic guitar versus electric guitar? You know, I'm a Gemini, and the split personality, I think, for me, comes through in my enjoyment of playing beautiful, you know, hopefully beautiful, delicate acoustic pieces, but also loving to play electric guitar. And they're very, very different instruments. Like, the touch is so different, and it took me a long time to feel like I can just pick one up and pick the other up and just totally, you know, not feel like I'm always having to go, oh yeah, that's a bit of an adjustment. But yeah, I really love both equally, and it's fun to play solo pieces and be unaccompanied, because it's like all the nuances are heard, and I love solo guitar. I love being self-reliant. You know, it's one of my favorite things. Whereas you can play bass lines and chords and melodies and grooves and everything at the same time. But with electric guitar, there's a certain it's kind of like you're a saxophone player in a jazz band. Like, you can play solos and play lead and really cut through any mix. There's no drummer that can compete with an electric guitar properly amplified. So I do enjoy that as well. Mike Wolf says, do you prefer tube amps when playing electric? Yes, I definitely do. Yeah, I just like the simple amps from the 60s, like a Fender Deluxe Reverb, a Fender Princeton Reverb, a Fender Pro Reverb. It's like, I think they got it right. And you know, there's a million different great tube amps, of course. But yeah, those amps they just have the right sound of an electric guitar for me. And all the plugins, like amp modelers and all that, you know, paraphernalia, I feel like none of them really present the responsiveness and the touch sensitivity of an electric guitar. It always feels like it's like I don't even like digital pedals. I have like some digital delay pedals, but they have analog drive-through. So like when I'm hearing my guitar, I don't want to hear a digital version of my guitar. It's like bad enough in the headphones where it's going through the audio gear and Pro Tools, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the amp modeling, you know, technologies. Although I know a lot of people like them and they think they're great. But for me, nope, no thanks. Best guitar guy on YouTube was Michael Chapdelaine. You like him? I don't know Michael. I don't know who that is, but I'm gonna write the name down because I should know about him apparently. There we go. He passed away. That's sad. I'll take a listen. Thanks for turning me on to a new player. How do you come up with your arrangements like the one for Jingle Bell Rock? They're excellent. Thank you very much. I have a few videos on YouTube about arranging. Arranging is a pretty advanced thing to do, although at the end of the day, it's kind of like putting a puzzle together. And I use a piece of software called Guitar Pro, which is it's a pretty affordable piece of software. I think it costs $50 or something like that. It's like not a subscription or anything. You just buy it, and it's really great for using tab, which I'm more comfortable with tab than notation. But you have to kind of put in the rhythms and everything, so you do have to do some transcribing. But I use Guitar Pro to come up with my arrangements. So basically, I'll input a melody, and then I'll input some bass lines, and I'll use it to refine the arrangement and put in some cool counterpoint. I really like counterpoint. I like it when bass lines go down and melody notes go up, and vice versa, and you kind of have to figure out a way to play it. But it's really a fun way to approach it. So yeah, can you play a jazz piece? Maybe Autumn Leaves. Yeah, let me play something jazzy. Something like that. This is a really cool sounding guitar, but it needs to go to the luthier to have a few things done. It's got this, You hear that? The nut here is too wide, and it makes that pinging sound if you do any vibrato on the B string. Which and it's got some intonation problems. I want to have a compensated bridge kind of put in, and yeah, it could use a little TLC. Fortunately, I've found a excellent luthier in the Bozeman area. His name's Marcus Engstrom, and yeah, for my money, like guitar lutherie is like alchemy. It's really unbelievable what a great luthier can do to an instrument. Like this Martin here, when I got it, I would play it for 20 minutes and then the strings would sound dead, and I'd be like, oh, and it really, I guess this guitar just loves fresh strings. But I took it to the luthier, and he did all kinds of things to it, and you know, he had worked on this guitar like 10 years ago or more, so he's familiar with it, and you know, did his magic on the nut in the saddle and all this, you know, stuff that he does, and now it's like it just stays perfectly in tune, doesn't move. And I always recommend, you know, finding a good luthier and working with them to get your instrument set up just the way you like it. And I always say it's pretty typical to have the luthier work on a guitar and bring it home, play it, and then take it back once, maybe even twice, to have the luthier adjust it slightly, because that's what I had to do. And I took it back recently, and man, it just plays so beautifully now. So I'm just checking out what's going on here. Should you share a few musicians that you really liked? Any musicians that really inspired you? You know, there's just so many. I saw someone said Joe Pass would be proud, and if I'm honest, I'm not sure he would like super enjoy my arrangement of Misty. He'd probably be like, that sounds like something a 17-year-old kid did, and he would be correct. But Joe Pass is definitely one of my heroes and my favorite players. I've been playing his recordings for my son, actually, and he says, I say, what kind of music is this? And he says, jazz. And it's very cute. But yeah, Joe Pass's, like the albums he did, like that album For Django, is really spectacular. He's just always was such an incredible player. Lenny Breau, Breau, he's also someone I've been appreciating more lately. I mean, he's always been one of my like North Stars as a guitar player. But there's just so many layers to his genius. And the people that really inspired me were Phil and Tommy Emmanuel, Australian guitar royalty. Many of you will know Tommy Emmanuel because he's considered the acoustic guitar player, best acoustic guitar player in the world, according to like Music Radar magazine or whatever. And yeah, he's very widely acclaimed as being just the greatest. And he's such a wonderful person. He's been a wonderful mentor to me and many people from my generation. And Phil Emmanuel, his older brother, who passed away a few years ago now, he was an amazing player and a really amazing person. And I met he and Tommy when I was 11 years old. And Phil especially took me under his wing and really mentored and inspired me. And he was just like, it was like the opposite of going to a like guitar lessons where they would be like, okay, Joe, do this. It was just like, I'd go and hang out with him and he'd be like, hey, Joe, check out this cool Jerry Reed lick. And he'd show me this, like, he'd show me something from, like, Lightning Rod. Something like that. He'd be like, yeah, wasn't that Jerry Reed? Like, something else. And we'd sit there and we'd listen to Jerry Reed, and he'd kind of show me what to appreciate about all these great players. And yeah, that's just so important. And I really treasure the time I spent with him. So yeah, I see some nice comments about Lenny Breau. Chet really thought a lot about Lenny. I met Tommy at the Chet Atkins Appreciation Convention. Wonderful person, very humble. Yeah, he's a really great person. Maxime says, I should start to really dig Breau. I never really listened to his works, but I've heard a few things on YouTube. Yeah, he was just unbelievable. I actually have some bootlegs that my friend recorded and gave to me. They're on a CD in the house somewhere. I should put those in the cloud somewhere so that they don't get lost. Because my friend personally recorded Lenny at all these venues in Nashville and just kept the tapes and gave me copies. I think he's given copies to other people, but it's really cool. I see a really good question there from O'Brien Guitars. Hope all was well there. I remember meeting you, O'Brien Guitars, in Colorado at Copper Mountain, I believe. I hope I'm not making a mistake there. But the question is, how do you do you control the humidity in your studio, and if so, how? So I have a very I have a very elaborate humidifier device called a crock pot. It's back in that corner. You can't really see it. Maybe if I move the chair out of the way. Yeah, you can see my crock pot in the corner down there. There it is. And you just fill the crock pot up with water and you put it on the warm setting. So you don't want to put it on the hot setting or the cold, low or high. You put it on the warm, and it just keeps in room such that it's a good amount. So this is the humidistat my luthier turned me onto. It's like a old school hygrometer, and I keep it like 45-ish. From 40 to 45% humidity in here, and I just manage it with the crock pot. I have to fill up the crock pot with water like once a week, maybe in the winter, but it's not too bad. It's like there's like snowing outside. It's I don't know how many degrees Celsius, -10 or something. Pretty cold at the moment. That's how I control. That's how I keep a little bit of humidity in my studio, and it works perfectly. It's the crock pot. So, if you need a quick solution, you might have one of those in your kitchen. I've tried, the mist machines and all those things, but they just they cause problems, and it's just, you don't want like a puddle of mist on the floor. But the crock pot is perfect. So there you go. Sam Frank says, "Good to see you still playing." Oh yeah, I'm still playing. Try to stop me. I'm gonna take a sip of water. I'll play another couple of songs, but then I probably should wrap it up. Oh my God, Joe, a crockpot, how simple and hilarious. Yeah, it works great. And I thought it was genius because my wife, she grows like plants. She's really good with plants. And she was growing like these Ecuadorian, Monstera, rare Monstera plants in a cabinet. And she knew all about how to keep humidity in so that these plants survive. And she said, yeah, you could use a crock pot. That's what some people do with plants. And I tried it, and it was like, oh yeah, that keeps it just the right amount. And and I thought I was like the only person who did that, but I spoke with another luthier who's like, oh yeah, that's what I do in my space. She's like, I have 3 crock pots, and it keeps it just right. So anyway, how big a room for a crock pot? Well, this room is not big. This is like roughly 10 by 20 with a 12-foot gabled roof. And this is a very airtight room. So if you have just like kind of a normal sized room, a crock pot would probably be appropriate. Certainly, it's an easy thing to try. There you go. Let me play some more songs. This is a funny question, and it's funny because there's a story behind it. Was it John Pizzarelli who inspired you to also start your live streams in the pandemic? It was, but not directly to me. So this is a funny story, but when the pandemic hit and all my tour dates were cancelled, my manager was like, yeah, Joe, you should start doing these live streams. And I was like, I don't want to do live streams. And at the time I was living in a little house, and I didn't have a strong enough internet connection to do live streams. And I was like, it would require like getting a new internet service and changing, all this stuff. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And he was from a management company called Vector Management, and Vector Management also managed John Pizzarelli. and he would be like, yeah, Joe, people are doing these live streams, and they're selling like tons of CDs and tons of vinyl, man. You should start doing the live streams. And I knew he was talking about John Pizzarelli, but I was like, kind of avoided it for a while. And then I ended up moving to a different house in the middle of the pandemic, because I was like, I'm going to be home all the time. I might as well set up my studio and try to So I set up in another house, and I got like really fast internet there. And I was like, I'll do some live streams. And then I became the live stream guy. and I have my manager to thank for that. He's no longer with us. Bob Burwell was his name. He was the manager for Kenny Rogers, Steve Vai, me, and a few other people. Rob Artson, Trey Hensley, John Jorgensen, and it was quite an eclectic roster. He was a wonderful, wonderful person. And speaking about O'Brien Guitars, Bob was the curator of the Copper Mountain Guitar Festival, which Guitar Town, that was the name of the festival. I used to play there almost every year, and it was really, really always such a fun festival. And it became like a really a lifeline for me in the pandemic, doing live streams, mostly because it gave me the sense of playing a concert and people enjoying it. And that's like my purpose in life. I just used to play concerts. I just lived for the next concert. But these days I really like being home and have a nice little routine where I'm doing a lot more recording, and I'm set up to hopefully have some good output this year of music. That's my plan. Jeff Corwin said, are you planning on any touring in addition to this Seattle Guitar Festival? Yeah, I'll be doing like the occasional small run of shows. I'm doing a few shows in California in June. Santa Barbara. I'm playing Lord of the Strings in Orange County. And a couple other things that'll be announced soon. And then going to the Guitar Festival in Seattle that's hosted by Concerts in America. Yosho Stefan is going to be there as well. It's going to be like a really killer festival. So if you feel like coming to Seattle, that'll be a really, really cool event. And a couple other things they'll be announcing soon, but nothing too extensive, to be honest. I think young people should be glad that the people with your skill level do these sessions and offer compositions to buy. In my day, it was put the record on and move the needle back. Yeah. It's interesting to think. I read my son these books sometimes, and I was just reading him a book tonight. It was from 1968, and it was like the teddy bear in the store, and the girl wants the teddy bear. And I was reading it, and I was thinking, it was a simpler time back then. I obviously wasn't alive, but you get a window into it, kind of reading old books sometimes, and it must have been such a different way to learn an instrument, to have to put the record on and slow it down and figure things out by ear. And if you had sheet music, it's probably only available for the classical repertoire. But these days, it's like every YouTube video you have a wheel where you can slow things down. It's amazing. But I think that the real secret sauce is people having someone kind of distill years of experience, and that's really can't really replace that, even with AI, in my view. Come to Atlanta if you get the chance. Yeah, I'd like to play in Atlanta. Vince says, when is the Seattle concert? I think the Seattle concert's in June. I think it's in the middle of second week of June, third week of June maybe. But it's on my website, joerobinson.com. That the Seattle Festival is announced. And All right, I'm going to play one more song, and then I'll wish you all a good evening. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm hoping to keep up these live streams throughout the year, and I appreciate any feedback about the sound. I did see a couple of notes. I saw Gina, you said that the sound cut out once or twice. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. Here's a question. I can't resist questions. That's my fatal flaw. Hi Joe, my left little finger and ring finger are difficult to separate. Left little finger and ring finger. Do you have any tips or exercises to help them move independently more easily? Yeah, for sure. I would do this exercise. So, do a hammer on between the index and middle. And then index and middle and ring. And then, this is the one you're going to want. Index and pinky. I'm sorry. Ring and pinky. I'm getting tired. And just do hammer-ons like that. And stretch your hands before you do that. But that's basically like one of the best left-hand control exercises. I know it's so simple, but it's really, really, really a good one. And it'll help you get the pinky to be stronger and more competent, more able to handle things. You know, it's like with fingerstyle guitar, you definitely use all your fingers, and you need to have good control of all of them to play fingerstyle arrangements. But there are some players, especially those who play mostly lead guitar or bluegrass, who barely use their pinky. You'll see the bluegrass guys just like ignoring their pinky. So it's kind of like depends on what kind of guitar styles you're playing, but yeah. I just ordered a crockpot, says Chris Hansen. You know, I always wanted to be a crockpot salesman. It's like I'm playing with my shoe up now, and I'm thinking, oh god, I should get a shoe endorsement since I'm playing with my leg crossed over like this. Have my shoe on camera all the time. Yeah. All the ways to. I'm looking for a crockpot. Is there a specific brand? Everyone's buying crockpots. I should get a cut of these. I'll read you the brand of my crockpot. The brand is Crockpot. I would get a big one because it just means you got to fill it up with water less. In fact, I might see if there's a bigger model because yeah, it's just kind of like you got to fill it up with less water, but it's easier to you know, with the mist machines, I feel like you got to fill them up every day or something. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, play a song, Joe. Okay, here's a song. I saw a few requests come in, and one of them was for the prize. So I'll play the prize because that'll give me. I'll be able to do some nice looping here, which will be fun. Do some nice looping, which will be fun. Do some nice looping, which will be fun. Maybe I should experiment with some percussive loops. Yeah, I should. Yeah, that's what I should be. I should be in the crockpot business. Joe Robinson model crockpot, says Larry. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had a one-way conversation with me, myself, and I about the way we've been living. Can't imagine why. To get to where we're going, it's a clouded compromise. You're mistaken if you think I'm taking my eyes off the prize. Maybe I've been distracted, quite possibly you're right. This big old bright and shiny world has kept me up at night. We all know that price tag shouldn't come as no surprise. You're mistaken if you think I'm taking my eyes off the prize. Some days I live with no regrets. Some days I just as soon forget. Some days a diamond, some a stone. Some things I just as soon leave alone. So where does all this leave me? I can't really say I know. I got more questions than answers, quite a ways to go. I can't let that deter me. This I realize, you're mistaken if you think I'm taking my eyes off the prize. Some days I live with no regrets. Some days I just as soon forget. Some days a diamond, some a stone. Some things I just as soon leave alone. I had a one-way conversation with me, myself, and I about the way we've been living. Can't imagine why. To get to where we're going, it's a clouded compromise. You're mistaken if you think I'm taking my eyes off the prize. My eyes off the prize. Getting at the telly. Really good fun. Thanks so much for staying to the bitter end. We got lots of crockpots sold this session. That's a win. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks very much, and see you again really soon. And if you want to be notified when I announce these live streams, I have a little announcement email list, and basically that's the only thing that is the only way to get to be definitely notified when a stream is announced, because social media platforms don't always notify you. But below this stream, there should be a link that says get notified when I announce a live stream or something like that, and you can join that list if you'd like. So take it easy. All the best. All right. Good crockpot comments coming in. See y'all later. Take care.